Welcome to my channel, Military Comebacks. Today I'm sharing a story that starts with the gentle hum of a commercial airliner and ends with the thunder of fighter jets slicing through the clouds. It's about a woman who seemed like an ordinary copilotin till one word, Mayday, reminded the skies who she had always been. Morning light washed over Denver International Airport, turning the runway into a sheet of gold. Flight 2783 to Seattle began boarding. Passengers filing in without a clue that the woman seated on the right side of the cockpit carried a past far from ordinary. Her name was Captain Sarah Lane, though to the world she was simply the first officer, calm, courteous, professional in her crisp Navy uniform. Years earlier, she had been known by another name. Over combat radios, it was spoken with respect: Valkyrie. She hadn't heard that call sign since leaving the cockpit of an F-15. After her final mission over Syria mission that cost her best friend his life and left her weighed down by guilt, she stepped away from the Air Force and into civilian aviation, trading tracer fire for sunsets. She told herself that was enough. The aircraft climbed smoothly, leveling at 37,000 feet above the Rockies. Everything was peaceful until 10:42. A violent shudder ripped through the plane. The left engine sputtered, then burst into smoke. Screams echoed through the cabin as oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. Sarah didn't freeze. Her training took over instantly. "Engine 1 failure," the captain called. "I've got it," she answered, steady and controlled, hands moving with practiced precision. Warnings blared, but inside her mind there was only focus. Cut fuel, adjust, trim, stabilize. The shaking eased, yet their altitude continued to fall. Denver Center. Flight 2783, declaring emergency. Engine 1 failure, descending to 15,000. Static answered, followed by a broken transmission. Radar contact lost. You're entering restricted airspace. Sarah checked the display. A red zone blinked ahead. ORA decontrolled airspace. Another 20 miles, and they'd trigger a military intercept. "Captain, we need to turn south." "Negative. We too heavy to climb, too unstable to bank. We hold course." It wasn't the right move. They were heading straight into a classified zone. Through the static came a firm voice. "Unidentified aircraft, this is Viper 1. You are entering NORAD control. Identify immediately." Her breath caught. Viper 1 was Major David Ross, her former wingman. She grabbed the mic. "Viper 1, this is civilian flight 2783. Engine failure. No hostile intent." A pause. "Then, you are not transmitting on a commercial frequency. Identify your pilot." She glanced down and realized her hands had instinctively switched to encrypted military comms, the same frequency she had used in combat. Muscle memory had taken over. Quietly, she replied, "Viper 1, this is Valkyrie. We have one engine out and 142 souls on board." Silence filled the cockpit. Then disbelief. In his voice, "Say again." "This is Valkyrie." Moments later, two silver shapes pierced the clouds. "Fewer sliding into formation on either wing, ma'am," came the radio call. "Softer now. You have escort. We've missed you." For 10 long minutes, the damaged airliner flew, guarded by the world's most advanced fighters. Sarah managed every foot of altitude with care. Memories surged the last time she had flown beside F-22s was the night she lost Ross's brother to a missile strike. She had blamed herself, walked away, and buried the pilot she once was. Flight 2783, NORAD command. "You are cleared for emergency landing at Peterson Air Base." "Copy. Setting course." The captain glanced at her. "You've done this before?" She gave a faint smile. "Once or twice." The runway stretched ahead, lined with flashing emergency lights. Smoke trailed from the wounded engine. Gear down, and locked. They hit the runway hard. Tires screamed. The cabin rattled violently, but the jet held together. It rolled to a stop as the smell of burnt fuel filled the cockpit. Applause and sobs erupted behind them. Above, The Raptors circled once, dipping their wings in salute before disappearing into the fading light. Hours later, Sarah stepped onto the tarmac to a storm of cameras and flashing lights. News outlets were already calling her the hero of Flight 2783, but her attention was fixed on the man approaching her. Helmet tucked beneath his arm. "Sarah," Major David Ross said. "Hey, Viper." He studied her emotion in his eyes. "We thought you'd never fly again." She looked back at the aircraft, at passengers embracing loved ones. "I wasn't supposed to," she said softly. "But when I heard Mayday, something woke up. The skies never forgot you." As the sun set over the Rockies, she felt a weight finally lift. She couldn't change the past, but she had faced it. That night. Footage replayed across every channel, a crippled airliner descending between two F-22 escorts. Headlines declared that a commercial co-pilot was a decorated Air Force veteran Valkyrie. Returned, but for Sarah, it wasn't about recognition. It was about the 142 lives brought safely home. When reporters asked how she stayed calm, she simply answered, "I've seen darker skies. And I've learned that no matter how far you fall, the horizon is always there." That's the story of Sarah Valkyrie Laina, pilot who stepped out of the shadows when the world needed her most and remembered exactly who she was. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that courage never truly fades and redemption can find us even in the darkest skies, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Here at Military Comebacks, we honor the people who show us what it truly means to rise and fly.